Happy New Year, everybody. My name is Brandon with thestocksnews.com, and today I wanted to start the new year off by giving you guys 3 stock picks of stocks that I think will do good in 2021. The first stock I want to talk about is something that I think will do good as a short-term trade, which is Wayfair. The second stock I want to talk about is something that I think could do well as an intermediate investment, which is Draftkings. And the last stock I want to talk about is Alibaba, which I think will do great as a long-term investment. So now let's talk about why I like these stocks as a short-term, intermediate, and long-term investment. So for short-term trades, I mostly focus on the technical indicators of the stock chart. Even though fundamentals of a business is very important, it really tells you the inefficiencies of the business. But because we are doing a short-term trade here, those inefficiencies of the business don't really have time to impact the stock chart. Because of that, we want to focus on the momentum of the stock price, and that is told to us by the technical indicators. So how about we jump on into Wayfair's stock chart so that I can try to explain to you what I'm seeing and why I think it's potentially a good short-term investment. So here we are in Wayfair's trading charts, and as you can see, Wayfair is kind of waving out really nicely in this range here between the support level of around $225 and this resistance level of, let's say around $290. So for short-term trades, I really like stocks that are kind of waving out in this pattern here. The reason for that is because I feel that it is much more predictable, and it gives me confidence that I am able to pick the bottom of a range and then ride that wave back up to one of these resistance levels here. So with that being said, the range that Wayfair is trading in is actually pretty large, and that's what you want to see for a short-term trade, because from this support level here at 225 to this resistance level here at 290, that's like a 20% swing if my math is right. And to me, that's a really good profit. So even if it doesn't make it all the way back up to its high here between 285 and 290, even if it just comes to this 270 level, that's like a good 15% gain. And to me, that's not bad for a short-term trade. So this is the main reason why I'm considering Wayfair as a short-term trade. Now, just technically, there are some technical risks for Wayfair. As you can see, the 50-day moving average, which is this blue line here, is trending downwards. And also, we've been making lower highs since August. So since August, this is the all-time high here. And since then, we've been hitting lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So this trend long-term is really bearish for the stock. And from a technical chart point of view, that's not really what you want to see. So the next technical indicator you want to look at is the MACD and the RSI. Both of these are telling you kind of how the momentum is going in the stock. So if we can zoom in here on the MACD, we see that the blue line is not really crossing over the orange line yet, or even bottoming out. So what this blue line is a measure of short-term momentum, while this orange line here is a measure of long-term momentum. When the blue line is lower than the orange line, which means that the MACD is negative, that means that the stock price is likely to fall because the momentum of the stock is weak. We see that once the blue line touches the orange line here, if we look at the stock chart, we see that the stock price made a nice little run upwards because the momentum of the stock was positive. So again, these are just technical indicators, and the rules are not set in stone. So the stock can behave any way it wants. It's just that technical indicators are used by investors to try and make themselves feel better that they are able to predict the future stock price based on past trends. And it has worked for past trends, but it does not mean that it will work for future trends. So I just want you to be aware of that. So right now, it's a little too early to jump into Wayfair, but I chose this as my short-term trade because if the stock shows some strength in the future, if we see the blue line bottoming out and about to cross this orange line, and we are still at this resistance level at 225, I think we could have a good run up to maybe 15 to 20% higher, and that would be a good profit for a short-term trade. So now that we've covered my short-term trading pick, I really want to talk about Draftkings now, which I think will do good in 1 to 2 years' time. So when you're looking to invest in a company for 1 to 2 years, what you really want to focus on is fundamentals. You can also look at the technical indicators of the stock chart, but I really like to see the fundamentals of the business because this is a longer time horizon than a short-term trade. So normally when we're trying to look at the fundamentals of a business, we look through the expense report. And when we look at DraftKings' expense report, we'll see that the expense report isn't really the best one out there. However, the reason why I chose DraftKings is really because of what's going on in the macro picture. And that is something I'll explain after we look at how DraftKings is doing as a business. So here we are on Draftkings statement of operations here, and as you can see that this is the most recent one ending on September 30th, 2020. And let's jump right on into it. With the revenues here, we can see that year over year in this 3-month period, we made $132 million. While compared to a year ago, we only made about half of that. So this doubling of revenues is exactly what you want to see as an investor in DraftKings. Unfortunately, the statement of operations does not end there, and we get to the costs. And as we can see, year over year, DraftKings is really expelling a lot of costs, especially here in this general and administrative. And all of these costs are really adding up in this loss of operations here. So even though we are doubling revenues, we are more than doubling the losses. And that's exactly not what you want to see if you are investing in a company. But like I said before, I really like DraftKings because of what's going on in the macro picture. So since March, because of the health emergency, states, at least in the United States, had to shut down a large portion of their economy, which means that they are not able to collect tax revenues from their citizens. So if you think about it, states are not generating as much income right now, but they are also spending a lot of money on programs like welfare or other things that the citizens need right now in order to get to the other side. And it's just math that if what's coming in is much less than what's going out, the states will have a lot of deficit in the future years. And this is where sports betting comes in and where DraftKings comes in, because the states have to find a way to make up this deficit. And one of the options on the table right now is sports gambling. So if sports gambling becomes legalized throughout the United States, then nearly overnight, the sports gambling industry will have a nearly immediate increase in the total addressable market of the business. The total addressable market, also known as TAM, is really the amount of people you can get your product to as a business. And if the TAM explodes overnight, then people think, also will the revenues of these sports gambling businesses. And because DraftKings has really good name recognition now, DraftKings is in a perfect spot to capture a large majority of that market share. And that's exactly what you want as a growth story. So this is the reason why I like DraftKings as a 1 to 2 year pick. Even though their loss from operations is exploding here, I think that the total addressable market potential to increase outweighs the inefficiencies of the business. So now that we've covered the expense report, now let's hop into the stock chart to see if we can find a level or two to buy the stock if we want to buy DraftKings. Again, it is a little risky because we don't know if legalization of sports betting will happen for sure, but if it does happen, I think the upside for DraftKings will be really good. So if we look here, we're at this 46.50 level. So if we look, we are at short-term support levels here, but I think this is kind of weak support. I'd like to see it drop down to anywhere between like $40, 35, 40, 42. I think you are good to start accumulating shares in this range here. Of course, I like to buy at the bottom of the range because I'm cheap. So as it goes down to $42 or below, I will probably start loading up again. So now that we covered my short-term trading pick, which is Wayfair, and my intermediate-term investment pick, which is DraftKings, let's talk about my long-term investment pick, which is Alibaba. So long-term investing to me means investing in a company for more than 2 years. And when you're really looking for a long-term investment, you really want to focus on the company's fundamentals. And I've already gone through Alibaba's expense report in a previous video. I'll link up here. But I'll just go through again the really important parts of what I like about Alibaba's fundamentals. And then we'll head on over to the trading charts to see how Alibaba is doing and if we can find a level to buy the stock if we want to buy Alibaba. So here we are on Alibaba's earnings report again. Again, I've already gone through this in detail in a video that I'll put in the top right corner up here. But I'll go over it again just to be thorough and for the new viewers on this channel. So here we see that for the core business, Alibaba, even though it's a mature company, is still growing at nearly 30% year over year, and that's exactly what you want to see for a long-term investor. Also, the next major point I want to make is this growth in cloud computing, which is over 60%, and that is fantastic growth, and that's showing a diversification of Alibaba's business over time. So those growth stories are the reasons why I like Alibaba long-term. So now when we look at the costs and expenses here, we see that it is ticking up slightly. but that is mostly because of share-based compensation here. So if we're looking at costs and expenses excluding share-based compensation, we're going to see that we are actually pretty steady and maintaining the same margins that we were before growing at 30%. So this is exactly what I want to see, because it is showing that Alibaba is able to maintain its margins even while scaling up its core business by 30%, and even when it's scaling its other businesses like cloud computing by 60%. So again, I went through this really quickly because I've already covered this in a previous video I'll link, and if you want to see my full breakdown, then you can click that video and look at the balance sheet, because nothing has changed since September 30th. So these are the main reasons why I like Alibaba stock for the long term, because of the growth and because of its maintaining of margins, which tells me that the business is very efficient. So now that we've quickly covered the fundamentals of Alibaba, let's hop onto the stock chart here and see if we can find a level or two to buy Alibaba if we want to buy Alibaba. So right now, today, we are at this $232 level here. So if we can see, back in January, it first touched its head up at this 230 level and then got rejected. And then it tried again here in June before getting rejected and then gapping up strongly above the resistance level. So resistance level now becomes a support level. So this is a good support level here at 230. Now, that being said, when we zoom in on here, we see Alibaba really took a nosedive and kind of fall off a cliff. The reason for that was because this was the day that the anti-monopoly suit was brought against them. So as you can see here, like I said, we are pretty volatile right now. So if we zoom back out on the charts here, we see that at the lows, we really hit a nice support level around this $213 level here. But, because BABA is so volatile right now, if the news keeps on getting worse, I wouldn't be surprised if we go below this 210 level, maybe even below 200. Now, I don't really see that happening, but I think because we are trading within this $230 and $213 range, I think that this was a good range to accumulate shares if you are a long-term investor, and especially if it falls below the 210 level, then I would be buying BABA with both hands. The reason for this is because even though there are regulatory pressures right now, I think that BABA is able to weather the storm and keep continuing to excel in the core business as well as their other business avenues. But before investing in BABA, you really have to consider the risks of more regulatory action against them, because if that happens, then that could definitely cause the stock price to tank. So those are my 3 stock picks of stocks I think will do good in 2021. As always, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, please like the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And as always, I hope you have a great day.